One of my goals last year was to step outside my comfort zone and travel internationally for the first time with my girlfriend instead of my family. And so we went to none other than the beautiful island, Bali.
Hi.
It gave me a sense of freedom I can't quite put into words, but it was everything I had hoped the trip to be. As we finished the trip up, I thought that would be the end of my chapter traveling in 2024. But the thing about life is, it's wildly unexpected, and I was suddenly faced with a decision to make. With just 1 hour until the sale ended, I contemplated. One international trip was already crazy, but 2? That never even crossed my mind. Yet, in moments of uncertainty, the first step is all it takes to find the courage to say yes. So, let's find out if this trip was all worth it. Shall we?
Alright, let's go out under the moonlight. I fall into your arms.
Now, as with any first night of a trip, it was hectic to say the least. It felt like a fever dream to be here in the heart of South Korea, but with everything feeling new, we quickly ended the night with one singular goal in mind.
The chance is mine, but I'm not back.
It's snowing.
On our first full day in Korea, we received multiple unexpected SOS warnings for the heaviest snowfall in November since 117 years. Coming from a place where snow is practically non-existent, it was one of those surreal moments that made me think, wow, what a time to be alive. And that's the thing about traveling. You never know what's going to happen, no matter how meticulously you plan the trip to be, and it's one of traveling's greatest gifts.
Can't believe we're in Seoul. This is so fun.
And to start our trip strong, we got that fresh new Korean perm from the central area of Myeongdong, which had everything from skincare, cute accessories, and an abundance of street foods and clothing stores. This was one of those places you'd want to stay forever to cure your retail therapy.
Let's go. Wow.
Cute.
After we got a taste of the biggest city of South Korea, we took a visit to the oldest palace in South Korea.
Are we dripping?
We strapped ourselves up in our hanboks and walked on foot. But as we approached the gates,
The temple was closed.
Due to snow.
so here we are, with our rental hanboks on for another 2 hours.
It's alright.
We didn't have any time to visit other palaces, but when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. And you gotta make the most of it when you least expect it.
Alright, to end off the night, we just went on a bit of souvenir shopping, but we're gonna have a bit of fun, play some games. 'Cause why not?
이기마쇼.
I wanna start up something new. I wanna see things I have never seen before.
There's this unique tradition my girlfriend and I have whenever we travel, and that is to play at an arcade. The sounds of the bustling streets of Seoul faded away, as it was replaced with sounds of every arcade machine filled in the room. Your eyes are just immersed in vibrant colors in every direction, and it just pulls you into a world where time seems to pause.
Not bad. I lost. Hi.
In recent late nights, I've had thoughts on what the meaning of this whole life thing is. It's weird because I've never really had thoughts about it until now, but it's been bothering me. I think I've tunnel visioned my life so far into the future that life felt so monotonous. But I've come to realize that life is much simpler than I thought. Everyone is given the same 24 hours, and if you define life to be this boring, repetitive, dissatisfying thing, you won't do anything. You become stagnant and live a life of unfulfillment. But if you choose to embrace life with optimism, joy, and hope, your life seems to shine a little brighter. Ultimately, you are the sole person responsible for your life, and the best way to predict your future is to create it today. Start that crazy fitness journey, go on wild experiences traveling the world, and chase your wildest dreams. Because the pain of regret and not trying at all will hurt more than wondering about the what ifs. From isolating the city last night to go back right into the city life again, we went back en route to a youthful, lively place. This place had quite literally an endless amount of shopping. You look left, there's stores. You look right, even more stores. You couldn't escape it. I had to hold my wallet back, but the aesthetics of this place was refreshing to say the least. Every time we reached new destinations, it felt like new territory unlocked in game, and no two places ever felt the same, and there was a sort of charm to that. As we kept shopping, the day turned to evening, where Hongdae is known for its busking scene at night. However, we had other plans to spend our night. Arguably the most famous landmark in South Korea, it's one of those landmarks you'll notice instantly, even from a distance. Being at a high elevation, surrounded in snowy peaks of mountains, with the view of the whole city right in front of you, this place felt magical. I could just relax here all night, watching over the city landscape. Even though we didn't go up to the lookout towers, there were love locks everywhere. So we made sure to mark our place here.
No, Tunnel of Love. If you're ever in this Tunnel of Love, you'll see our heart there because it is lock-proof, because that took way too much effort to open it.
Oh my gosh, I'm so happy.
We gotta put this on now, somewhere. Ah, it's so cold. So apparently there's this rooftop here. Oh wow.
The best part about traveling is finding places you would never find back home. Cafe culture in Korea is huge, and Sonsu was no exception to that.
Cool. Cheers. It took a bit.
Why'd you take like 10 seconds?
It was because I had to chew through this first and I didn't get the flavor. So flaky. Beasted. Immaculate. It was so good. Ah.
Apparently in Korea, certain places go on trend to visit, and Seoul was part of the current trend cycle, with trendy pop-up stores, vintage stores, and even more fashion stores. Seoul was one of my favorite places. You can kinda tell we liked window shopping a lot by now. But that's what traveling is all about. Going out of your regular routine, trying things you've never done, doing things outside your comfort zone, which may or may not include walking an average of 18,000 steps a day. One of the biggest reasons you'd want to travel around the world is the food, no doubt. It will be searching for tasty foods you would not commonly eat back home. There was a snack in particular that we were on a hunt for. This is bungopan, and I'm obsessed. It's cute, it's sweet. Though our chances of finding one that day were slim. Every store was closed, and just as we were losing hope, we stumbled across a couple running a bungopan store.
Bungopan. Pistachio as well. We've never come across one that has a pistachio one. So this will be exciting.
It's little moments like these that reminds me why I love traveling so much.
Pistachio.
Oh. That's so nice.
After eating our fill, we walked it off around what I'd easily call the most beautiful lake in South Korea. It was just peaceful. People minding their own business, with some walking, some catching up with friends, even a few running, and it made me feel present right there in the moment, standing in the midst of everyone in their own world. It felt so free to be away from my regular routines of working, sitting down, editing videos, and instead enjoying life at what felt like at its purest form. And just like that, our journey to Seoul wrapped up, and we were ready for a change of pace. From Seoul Station, the train carried us through the towering mountain peaks, the country views, and ultimately down south for 2.5 hours before we arrived at Busan.
Alright, we finally arrived in Busan. It's so bright.
Coming from the bustling city life of Seoul, Busan felt like a breath of fresh air.
And very, very quiet compared to Seoul.
Our time in Busan was left mostly for spontaneous decisions, but there was one place in particular we had to visit here. But getting there wasn't easy. We got a little lost with the transportation, but luckily the kind local grandmas pointed us in the right direction and we hopped on this cute little bus. Though, what wasn't cute was the ride itself. The driver was pedaling it like no tomorrow, going through the steepest uphill roads a bus could ever go through, and I've never used so much of my grip strength in my life. After what felt like the longest 15-minute bus ride, the bus came to a halt at the top of the road, and we finally arrived. With such vibrant colors on the walls, with the houses stacked like stairs, the village was just beautiful, and seeing it in person was so surreal.
Holy crap, this does not feel real. This is crazy.
Our morning was spent trekking around the village, finding every little corner possible and discovering the perfect spot to eat cup ramen with a crazy view. We wrapped up our afternoon and finally checked in our first hotel of this entire trip.
Alright. Day 1 of Busan done.
Up until this point, we've been using hostels and guest houses, and we officially upgraded to a hotel. And this is only $230 for 3 nights, which is dirt cheap, and this is what you get with it. A room on the 13th floor with a crazy view. There's a toilet.
That warms your ass up.
Genius. 2 showers and tiles that felt too nice for us to walk on. Anyone who's ever traveled on a budget can relate the feeling of upgrading accommodation. You just don't know how good it feels until you get a better room.
Well, this is definitely an upgrade.
As you could probably tell by now, we were legit walking everywhere non-stop this entire trip. We decided that it was time for a change. Something that you can just sit back, relax, and simply enjoy the scenery go past. We timed it perfectly just as the sun was setting. We were surrounded by the calm blue waves, the lush greenery, with the orange sunset casting its golden hour. Nothing, and I mean nothing, could be more perfect than that. And just like that, our days in Busan had quickly passed and our trip was coming to an end. The final day of traveling always feels bittersweet. It's like you're leaving behind something that was so joyous, yet something that seemed daunting and unfamiliar at first. It's fascinating how a place felt initially foreign with the streets, the transportation, and the culture becomes a temporary home. By the end, you navigate around with confidence you didn't know you'd gain and wish for just a little more time. I always reflect back on trips and can't help but think of all the experiences and memories I would have missed had I not said yes to opportunities. Traveling isn't just about the destinations. It's about breaking your regular routines, embracing the unexpected, and feeling the ever so present moment. It's an indescribable feeling to see a new part of the world. Whether it was shopping the entire day, walking 20,000 steps in what felt like an in-real-life stair machine, watching the calming waves meet the sunset in Busan, or even as simple as eating street food in the heart of Seoul. These experiences remind me why venturing out into the world matters so much. Life is truly what you make of it. You can only grow doing things outside of what you know, and sometimes all you need is a ticket, a courage to say yes, and a curiosity to explore the world out there.